So you bought yourself a nice little Sega 32X, or you're thinking about buying one. Well, you've come to the right place because I'm gonna give you my top 10 Sega 32X games to help you get the most out of your gaming system or add-on or peripheral or whatever you wanna call it. So stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Layman Video Gamer. I am Scott Galaxy, and today, like I said, I'm gonna give you my top 10 Sega 32X video games to help you enjoy your 32X the way it was meant to be enjoyed. But before we get into that list, let's talk about the Sega 32X just real quick. I promise, real quick. So what is the Sega 32X? It's basically an add-on that transforms your Sega Genesis or Mega Drive into an Ultra 32-bit system. Well, in theory anyway. The add-on had two 32-bit central processing units and a 3D graphics processor and was released in November of 1994. But the development of the new system and its games was rushed, and the console failed to attract many third-party video game developers and consumers, mainly due to the fact that the Sega Saturn, the true 32-bit system, was released at the same time in Japan, and just 6 months later in the US. Overall, the system sold just under 700,000 units in the US and launched at a price of $159.99. Now keep in mind that I gave more credit to the games that tried to utilize the power of the Sega 32X. Let's begin. Number 10, Metalhead.
Good luck. Stage 1. Mission 1.
Your first mission. Destroy all enemy mechs in the city near the border. Remember to take them all out.
Metalhead is a 3D first-person shooter mecha simulation that was released in 1995 that made use of the texture map polygons. On the surface, this game looks dull and slow, but while it hasn't aged well, I promise it's better than you think. And it'll only cost you between $10 and $20. And if you want to buy it brand new, you're looking at $30.
Our bomber will take care of the remaining forces. You must eliminate all mechs in your area.
Good luck.
Number 9, Star Wars Arcade. Now this might be a little low on the list for some people out there, but Star Wars Arcade does garner a top 10 spot because, well, it's a classic. This game is an action space simulator that launched at the same time as the 32X and was probably in every 32Xer's library. It was the home port of the popular arcade game of the same name and even boasted a 32X option to play along with the arcade version. Again, this showed off the 3D power of the Sega 32X, even if it did lack in the audio department.
Stand by to receive orders. Wipe out enemy fighters.
Number 8, Virtua Racing.
Virtua Racing.
Virtua Racing was another big title for the Sega 32X for obvious reasons. This thing was practically made for the system with the blocky polygons. And this was a pretty good upgrade to the Sega Genesis version, which used the SVP chip to create its 3D polygons. And that game cost a whopping $100 back in the day. Luckily, the 32X version won't cost you nearly that much. In fact, you can find it anywhere between $9 and $15 if it's completed box, and even under $30 for a brand new version. Oh, and it's actually a pretty fun game. Number 7, Space Harrier. Space Harrier on the 32X is a near duplicate of the original arcade classic. If you love the original, you're gonna love this one.
Get ready.
And you're also gonna love the price. For a loose copy, you can find it for about $27, and a complete in-box version will cost you about $43. If you're lucky and you can find it brand new, well, you can probably expect to pay upwards of $80 and $90.
You're doing great.
Number 6, Kolibri. One of the 2 unique titles on this list, Kolibri is a beautiful game to look at. It's also an exclusive on the system, meaning you're going to pay a pretty penny for this game. Now, this unique shooter has you as a Kolibri, or in layman terms, a hummingbird. And much like Echo the Dolphin, you are endowed with special powers by a magic crystal to save the world. Now, this game really shows off the extended color palette of the 32X and has, at least at the time, stunning visuals. Keep in mind, this is a highly sought after game, and it is for good reason. Number 5, Black Thorne. While Black Thorne was released as a 16-bit title before this one, the 32X version improves it in a number of ways, with enhanced graphics and a more robust color palette. Not to mention, it's a pretty darn good story. But I won't ruin it for you here. But if you want this cart, you will be paying a good amount of money. However, this one is worth it. Number 4, Shadow Squadron. Some people may be surprised at this one, but I will admit Shadow Squadron is probably an underdog here. You won't find this on a lot of people's lists, but I find this game quite enjoyable and visually it's very impressive. This game really utilized the 3D graphics processor and it's quite fluid as well. In fact, I actually prefer this game to Star Wars Arcade, and it does get quite challenging in the later stages. But the best news about this game is that it won't break the bank. You'll pay anywhere between $18 and $50, but if you want to see what the 32X can do, this is the game to get. Number 3, Doom. Now let me just start off by saying Doom is a classic, and yes, gamers were disappointed when the game launched back in the day with the tingy music, the shrunken screen, and the absence of some maps and the BFG. That's a gun, by the way. But to me, this game still has some spunk, especially compared to the Super Nintendo version. I literally just played this game again from start to finish, and I had a blast. And it still has the ability to give a scare once in a while. So forget what the PC version was like and avoid the comparisons, because if you can do that, you will love this game. Definitely check this game out. There's a reason it's in my top 3. Number 2, Star Trek Starfleet Academy Starship Bridge Simulator. Probably one of the longest titles ever in video game lore. But this one is probably going to shock a lot of people out there, but I absolutely love this game. Now, full disclosure, I do love me some Star Trek. But this is really a fantastic game that puts you in the captain's chair and delivers a hands-on experience as to what it's like to be the captain of the Enterprise, or whatever ship you're flying. In fact, this game helped me tremendously with the new Star Trek Bridge on the PlayStation VR. I kid you not. With tons of missions and even some famous movie missions that quote word for word, this is a must-have simulator that'll literally take you to school. Number 1, Tempo.
You know what time it is. Yo, homie, peep him! Tempo, check it out, you know, he makes it funky, and he's good to go. Oh, bang! Catch the groove from New York, L.A., and San Francisco.
The house tonight, you know it's gonna move your mind. The groove is out of sight.
The groove is out of sight.
Funky as you wanna be, Tempo's in the house tonight.
Tempo's in the house.
You know it's gonna move your mind. The groove is out of sight.
The groove is out of sight.
Funky as you wanna be.
Let me just say, this is one of the wackiest, most colorful games I've ever played. It's one of the few platformers on the 32X, and it is extremely unique, a lot like Kolibri. I'd even say it's downright crazy, and I don't think I have to explain it, just look at it. But if you want this game, you will be paying a bit of money, somewhere around $55 to $70 for a complete in-box copy, or around $40 to $50 for the cartridge alone. But there's no doubt it's worth it. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like this video or any other video on this channel, please hit subscribe so you're the first to know of any new content that comes out. I'm Scott Galaxy. We'll see you again on another episode of The Layman Video Gamer.